everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be making some caldo de res. Here I'm showing you the meat that I am using, and it is bone shanks. Look at that beautiful meat. We are going to be using a 10-quart stock pot. I'm going to add the meat. We're going to add some celery, some onion, and some crushed garlic. All this to season our broth. Now, if you've never tried epazote, you need to try this. This is an herb that I use quite a bit. We're going to add in some pepper, some freshly ground pepper, and then I am going to be adding in some sea salt. Now, use whatever salt you prefer. I just use this because I had it on hand. And then we're going to be adding some chicken stock. Yes, that's a little strange, but stay with me now. I add the chicken stock, and then I am going to add the beef broth. There we go. I like my broth not to turn out so dark, and that is the reason I use half and half. And then I add some water to top it off so that I can have lots of broth during that meat simmering time. Here I'm adding a bay leaf, and we're going to cover it. And I'm showing you the vegetables that I'm using. I've got some cilantro, some zucchini, some cabbage, carrots, and some corn. Okay, the meat has finally boiled. We are gonna actually skim the top, try to get all that yuckiness out of it so we can have some clear broth. I'm just gonna continue to skim it until I get it all out. After this, we are going to, I took the meat out, and it is time to strain the broth. We are going to remove all the vegetables and herbs that I put into it. They have done their job. It is time to move on. Here we go, adding that clear broth back into our stock pot. Doesn't that look scrumptious? Okay, let's add that meat back in. We are going to start adding in our vegetables. I like to layer the vegetables a little bit at a time because they cook at different rates. So here we go with the corn. I like to give the corn a little bit more time just so that it can soften up. We're going to boil that for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and cover that. And look at that, it's done. Now we are going to add in our carrots. Look at those beautiful orange carrots. You add in whatever vegetables you like. I'm adding in some zucchini. And I'm going to add in some cabbage. I use probably the half a head of cabbage because that's quite a lot of cabbage. And we're going to bring that back up to a boil. Let that cook for a few minutes, and then I'm going to add the rest of our vegetables that cook a lot quicker, like our bell pepper, our potatoes, tomato, and of course we cannot forget our cilantro. I know that's a deal killer for some, but for me, I cannot leave it out, guys. It's delicious. I love it. Okay, let's bring that back up to a boil for about 10 minutes while I take you in through this rice tutorial. Cannot have some caldito without some Mexican rice. Let's toast up the rice. We're gonna add a little bit of diced onion, some and the onions. You can pick up on that smell right away. And then we are going to add in our tomato sauce. I put in about 3 teaspoons. You can add more or less, that's up to you. And we're going to start adding in our broth. I like to use the chicken broth. You can use water if you don't have broth. Let's add in our seasoning, our pepper, our comino, and our consommé de pollo. I love it. Okay, guys, here we go. Give it a stir. Make sure everything is well combined. And then we are going to add in some chile serrano for flavor. That will not make your rice spicy. Don't worry about that. I like to eat that with my caldo. Turn down that heat all the way down and set your timer for 20 minutes. Let's check on that soup. It is ready. I had that heat a bit too high. Don't have it so high. Okay, here we go. 20 minutes later and voila. Look at that deliciousness. How scrumptious is that? Now, I normally won't uncover it, but I had to show you. Now, let's pick at it with a fork so you can see how tender it is. How fluffy. Look at that. Look at those chiles ready for that soup. All right, it's time to plate up our caldito. Let's look for the meat. I am probably gonna get a corn here. Yes, let's get that corn. I set it aside so that I can fit more vegetables into my bowl. Serve yourself up a piece of that bone shank. Look at that, it's falling apart, it's delicious. And then I'm gonna scoop up some vegetables, some zucchini, a carrot, some cabbage, and we cannot forget a potato. I know it's in there somewhere. Now let's fill it up with some broth. That broth is full of flavor, guys. You have to give this recipe a try. Look at that. So here it is, guys, some caldito de res with some Mexican rice. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. Thanks for spending some time with me. Don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, and share with family and friends. I'll talk to you later. Bye.